It's the Brian and Kendra Show with Brian Cook and Kendra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kendra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, it's the Brian and Kendra Show. Evidently, it's going to be sans Brian again. He's all like, I've got this, but really he doesn't have it. Brett's like, I'm starting this with or without you, Brian Cook, and now I'm panicked, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. All right, so here we are. Today, I'm Kendra Cox with Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I'm Brian Cook.
So Brian's here in the studio, but he won't get over here in front of his microphone. Are you ready to play now?
I'm ready to play.
Is that like your fashionably late entrance or something? You wanted to be cool and stuff?
That's right.
All right, so here we are. It's Thursday. Does it feel like it's been a long week?
It's Monday, Thursday. Oh, it's Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
It does. It feels like we're ready for a Friday.
Man, I'm ready for a Friday.
So, lots been going on. We got lots of things moving, shaking. Got people moving around. Got people moving to town. It's been a little exciting. We had a little lull back in the market. Things kind of picked back up. So the market in Woodward is doing really well. We'll discuss
Your market stats? Oh, man. Did you bring them? I've been so tired. I might go ahead and start my nap in a minute.
After your nap, I'll put you right to sleep.
All right. So I'm excited about this, though. Have you been seeing Main Street Woodward has been posting that we have Christmas in July this weekend?
Yes.
So there's like a whole list of stores that are participating. Do you want me to read them?
Yes.
Okay. So Robinson Leatherworks, Scissor Tails, say it again. Scissor Tails is located in the Walker Mercantile. So Walker Mercantile, all of those stores are participating just beyond the door. It's going to be exciting. I'm super excited. Anchor Clothing, Modern Appliance, Boards and Bites, Persimmon Creek, R5, Brown Shoe Fit, Orange Leaf, Homestead. There's more. Are there more? What am I missing?
Interiors, the Hot Pink Daisy, Compass Athletics, Larry Hill Art Studios.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a whole bunch of them.
So that is the 23rd and the 24th. So everybody needs to go shopping, shop local, support our people. That's exciting stuff.
It is exciting. And then
is this the tax-free weekend too?
No, that's like next weekend.
I have no idea what that really means.
Next weekend, August the 6th, we're doing the Back to School Bash.
Oh, are we?
I know. It's one of them things. I did finally put it on my calendar. We're cooking hamburgers, hot dogs, and making snow cones.
Oh, awesome.
So me, us, Keller Williams, Brown Shoe Fit, and Kevin Kanzler.
Yes, Kevin's one of our sponsors.
Kicking back in, and we're gonna make all that stuff.
Yeah, the problem with these August 5 and 6 dates is it's hot.
So do you want to run the snow cone machine?
I'm kind of afraid of the snow cone machine. That thing scares me. I'm afraid that I'll lose.
Just don't put your fingers up in that thing.
Oh, yeah. It freaks me out, man. All right. So, market stats. I'm interested to hear how it's been going. You said it's been crazy.
It has been. So, there are still 52 houses on the market. That's been the same for 1, 2, 3 weeks. It's 51, 54, 58, 58. So, it's close. But there's only been 2 new listings in Woodward in the last 7 days.
Really?
Weird, huh?
Yeah.
There's 31 total pending in Woodward, 3 new pending in Woodward, 48 total Northwest Oklahoma, 5 total actually new pending contracts, so 3 of them in Woodward, 2 outside of Woodward. Closings in Woodward, so pending just went under contract. We closed 9 in Woodward last week.
Seriously?
And 0 outside of Woodward.
Oh, wow.
So
Woodward's really moving and shaking.
Yep. So we are down. Months of inventory is kind of a measure of the ratio of homes on the market to buyers. That's what that really is. It tells you how many months it would take to sell everything on the market, which is down to 2.84.
That is amazing.
A year ago, we were at
like 10.
10.11.
That's
10.11.
so crazy.
So it gets back to, it's hard to find something. So if you are needing to move or wanting to move, you will want to start looking sooner than later. It's going to start itching into a seller's market, and there are parts of the market that are already seller's markets.
Right.
So every market's different. So if you're like, hey, it's still not Oklahoma City, like we're still not crazy,
Thank goodness.
multiple offer stuff. But I mean, it looks like we're headed there. I mean,
Stop. I don't want to.
they're down to like a 0.7 months of inventory.
That's just so crazy.
So
Terrifies me.
So the market here is still healthy. We call it healthy. So the problem is the selection. So if you're out looking, so some of our sellers are super frustrated because we can't sell their house. We're frustrated we can't sell the house, but it's just not quite compelling to what the buyers are out there looking for. So either repairs or updates or price, something's got to change to intrigue the buyer. But man, if the house hits just right, they sell fast.
Absolutely. So
It's
very
a good time to sell.
It sounds good. I mean, it really does. I really am worried about the Oklahoma City market. Like, I don't want that kind of stress. But, I mean, our market is super healthy right now.
Yep.
It feels
Ran
good.
into a guy at the tag office and was buying the tag for the old Cougar that drove off a cliff.
Any takers?
Yeah. Nonetheless, $257 later because I haven't tagged it since 2017.
I think you're supposed to do that annually.
I know. I thought I did,
mean-
but whatever.
Okay.
So nonetheless, I ran into a guy and I'm like, hey, you ready to sell your house? He's like, yes, if you can get me $240,000, I'll sell it today. And I said, you better ask your wife. I'll be over at 7. And so he kind of panicked, but his wife walked in and we'll see tomorrow. They're going to
Awesome.
go fight it over tonight. But
Can't wait to write
so
that
it's
contract.
interesting when people, so there are people out there that just don't know. And so we're going to go look at their house and decide if we can get 240, I think it's probably worth that. But yeah, there's people out there willing to sell. And if you're wanting to sell, it's the other thing you need to know is even if it's a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, just tell us.
Absolutely.
We
Let
wanna
us
meet
come and
you,
look at it.
Come look
Mhm.
at your house. That way we're prepared. Yeah. 5 years. You want to sell in 5 years? 500,000. Okay. We got another house at 500,000. We'll bring the buyers by at 7:30 tonight. So it's an interesting time. So we need notice. We need more time to help you prepare. Is what I'm saying. So if you're looking to sell,
We
next,
like time to help you prepare.
Yes.
Now, we've got other ones that are like, something came up and I need to move next month.
Right.
Absolutely. Call us. Don't delay. But
yeah, like the one that messaged me 2 minutes ago.
yeah.
Can you sell my house tonight?
But absolutely, if you know something's in the work, let us
Mm-hmm.
know because we can start working on it and helping you to have a game plan, giving you some great tips to be
Right.
prepared. I sent out an email today with our Home Ready program, and it's a great program. I mean, those videos are really detailed about how to get your house ready so that it presents the best to a buyer. And so definitely give us as much time as possible, and we will do our very, very best to help you have a successful sale.
Absolutely.
So, okay, you want to take a quick break?
Let's do it.
We'll be right back.
Hey, we're back.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and so I've noticed your sticky note on your shirt.
Okay, so I wear my thumbs up sticker. Actually, I made it be a sticker today.
Okay.
So back in the old days, whenever we weren't Keller Williams, we had this awesome system with our Laura. Laura's like your brain, but she's brain, I think. Don't you?
She's detail
Like,
brain.
It's amazing. Yeah, you're different brains for sure. But okay, so she'd go
She
through
is
her
smarter
files.
than I am. I just admit that.
Listen, well, yeah. I mean, everybody knows.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody's
so,
smarter than I am.
Listen,
I got it.
listen. No, just Laura. I mean, we already went through my non-smarts today, didn't we? We got to talk about that in a minute. That was fun. Okay, so Laura would go through our files, and then we would get first we got these fun little stickies that said thumbs up if we were good and thumbs down if we're bad, I guess. I don't know. I was so excited to get my thumbs up. And then we got to go to the golden tickets and I could buy things with my golden tickets. Man, I did not know that I was motivated by this kind of stuff. I thought I already gave 110%. Dude, I was giving like 150% because I wanted to buy stuff with my golden tickets. Well, then we changed to Keller Williams and we don't get stickies anymore and we don't get golden tickets anymore. And now I just earned my salary. But today there was an old file out and it had a sticker and I went, oh, I remember when I used to get stickers. And I just took it. And she said it was fine.
That's right. Okay,
Yes.
Laura, buy Kendra stickers. Let's get some motivation here.
Look, you came to work today, sticker.
Sticker.
Okay.
So-
Yes.
So I had your review. So does anybody else stick their foot in their mouth
Had my
like I do?
review. What?
I said, does anybody else stick their foot in their mouth like I do?
I mean, yeah, we all do, but
So,
you
yeah,
did it
so
special
I
today,
did today.
didn't you?
So I had Kendra. I said, hey, would you review this to make sure it makes sense?
Because
like-
if you can read it, anyone can.
And that's not what I meant. But Then I couldn't say it right.
It was awesome. You really did. You started stuttering like,
I did.
It's coming out the wrong way. I can't make it stop. And I knew, so I just finished it for you and helped
it
you.
was bad.
Great news. I did understand it, so everybody will know exactly what you meant. That's fantastic. I tell you. I don't know why I feel like I need a thumbs up sticker. All right. So today our topic, and I hope that I didn't laugh too much because I'm really excited about this topic. I think this is super important. Oklahoma works differently than other states. We are not an agency state in real estate.
Right.
An agency means that you are specifically representing and working for one party.
Right. But
So-
you can.
You can. In Oklahoma, you can do that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. But we typically don't. Out here, we are typically work as, it used to be called a transaction broker. And it's the easiest way to describe it, that we are working for the benefit of the transaction. And we really want customers and buyers and sellers both, to be treated well and to be treated fairly and to leave the closing table knowing that things were handled appropriately and fairly and squarely and all those kinds of fun things. But it's come up a lot lately about representation and how do you really work with both parties. And so I wanted to talk about it today. So here we are. We're going to do it because I said, I don't know stuff, but so transaction broker is what we used to call it. It's really not what it's called now. This is just the these things are based off the Oklahoma Brokerage Act. Am I saying that right? Like, I don't really have it all in my brain
I would
right now.
answer that, but I don't know the answer.
Well, that's awesome. So anyway, so here's the deal. We typically, you sell a lot of what you list. So
Right.
we tend to work with buyers and sellers both.
It's like 50% of what I list, I sell.
So we had a seller recently, and that was one of his main questions when we were interviewing basically for the listing agreement. And he said, I want to know how you really can help me and represent me and also represent a buyer and do it fairly. And so, and I was like, can I answer? And I don't know that I had the right answer. But ultimately my answer is that we do things honestly, ethically, the way that the Real Estate Commission wants us to, with reasonable skill and care. And again, that it is so important to us in a town like Woodward. I know I'm going to run into your buyer and I'm going to run into your seller. I want to make sure that when I do, that I can look them in the eye and shake their hand and that they're still comfortable with me as I am with them. Ultimately, I just want everybody to be my best friend. So that's how we work.
Right.
What do you think?
Yes. So it comes back to, there's a lot of confidentiality, and that's probably the most important thing that's in the when we use the word transaction brokerage is how do you keep, they're going to be open in front with you and they tell us, hey, I want to sell my house for, $200,000, but I'm willing to take $150. And then we tell them what we really think it's worth. Our goal is to get as much as, we want to get what it's worth. And so the buyer walks in the door and wants to buy the house. We don't just immediately puke out, hey, they'll take $150,000.
Right.
We only transfer information from what the seller tells us to the buyer and then vice versa from the buyer to the seller.
So there are things that are confidential that we cannot share. And that is
Correct.
one of the things that we're not supposed to share is financial matters. So likewise, if we have a buyer that comes in and says, I do not care what this is listed at, I will pay $10,000 over this asking price. Now I'll take it as is. In fact, I will even pay the seller's moving expenses. We cannot say that until they have told us to put that into an offer.
Correct.
That is not something that we share, and we're very careful to keep those things confidential. I think another thing that's really important that people don't understand, I think every buyer asks this question, why are they selling this house? I think what they really want to know is, are there ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something wrong? Right? You're laughing over there. Brett's laughing. It's true.
Yeah.
It's really true. That's really the question I think that people want to ask is, well, this is so great. Why do they want to sell it?
Yeah.
Is really how I think it means to be
Exactly.
phrased.
Like if somebody asks me why I'm selling the Cougar.
Yeah.
You don't want to know all of the horror stories.
But I do as a buyer.
Right.
But what is tricky is that I'm not supposed to share motivation for selling, because motivation for selling can make you, the buyer, offer less, offer more,
Right.
and it's not
Sometimes
appropriate.
the sellers give us that freedom, and so we do make sure we. So one of them's like, hey, I just want
Right.
to move to town. Okay, well we're selling your house because you want to move to town. Are you okay with tell that to the buyers? Yeah.
But
And so,
that's not
yes.
financially motivated particularly.
No.
Whereas divorce is financially motivated, or maybe a death in the family, or loss
Transfers
of job,
yep.
job transfer. Those kinds of things are financially motivated. usually, and can affect the sale, and it can affect the way that the buyer makes an offer. And so those things are confidential. That's one of the ways that we are able to work with both parties. Also, what else did I miss on here? Things that are confidential unless it's public information. So that's where it starts getting tricky. So financially motivated, once a foreclosure is filed, that's public information.
Correct.
It's a lot harder to keep that a
Woodward's
secret.
Yeah, and Woodward's a pretty small town, so
Yes,
most
it
people
is.
know what's going on before we know what's going on. So
Which can be really helpful. If
Yeah.
anybody knows what's going on with me, let me know. All right, so some other things that are super important to me. Property condition disclosures. It says that we, real estate agents, and see, I use the term loosely. We use that as a generality. We're not using that as the term agency. Like in Texas, where a buyer's agent cannot be the seller's agent. So, I mean, this is different in Oklahoma than it is in other states. So, property condition disclosures, it says that we have to disclose information pertaining to the property as required by the Property Condition Disclosure Act. So, it's important. So, recently, we had a house listed, and another company had the buyer. We forgot. We had seen evidence of something that we were
suspected.
concerned.
We're not professionals.
We're not professionals. I mean,
Termite people.
I am professional, but I'm not a professional termite guy or girl. So, but you had seen something and you had mentioned it. I completely forgot. I was talking to the buyer and was all excited. Wasn't thinking twice about it. Completely forgot when we left the house. Then later we get an offer from a different buyer, a different company. They do their inspections. They do a termite inspection even, and the termite inspection didn't show anything. What? At that point, I all of a sudden it was like ding, ding, ding. And I texted you and I said, we've got a problem, because I remembered. So immediately we did a licensee disclosure and said, hey, we know what that said, but we think this, and our seller has already agreed to do their own termite inspection, which did find evidence of termites. And then they treated for those termites. So when we see those things, I'm probably going to get in trouble tomorrow. I can't believe you said on the air you forgot.
Yeah.
I did. I totally stinking forgot.
We all forgot. I mean, there's a lot moving.
Absolutely
there's a lot of moving
forgot.
parts, but
Yes. So as soon as I remembered, we took care of it. We handled it. I really felt like, I think we handled that appropriately, and made sure that the buyers were aware, were comfortable, could move forward. Those things are required by us. So when we're walking through a house, if we see water running, I don't know, out from underneath the toilet, we have to alert the buyer and then eventually the seller, hey, this has a problem. Obviously, this is a defect.
Right.
And needs to be handled. Now, I do not look at all of the little fractures by the doorways and go, that looks structural. That's not my job, and I don't have that skill set.
Right. It's something, if we notice it, and so we're our professionalism, it can be broken window, I mean, anything that's like an obvious or even not obvious. If we suspect something, then we need to, by law, we're supposed to disclose it.
So important stuff. All right, what else do you want to talk about on this? Oh, this is my favorite part.
Okay.
I have two favorite parts of this document. Whenever we sign this, whenever we have a buyer, whenever we have a seller, this is a disclosure of brokerage duties. It says what we're responsible for, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. And one of my favorite at the top, it says that we use reasonable skill and care. No one yet has described to me what reasonable is. It scares me a little sometimes.
It's the same as working order.
A normal working order. How
working
that's
order.
so different
Very
for me
vague.
to you. Yes,
Yes.
for sure. All right, but it also says that if we're going to provide fewer services than what's detailed on this document, that we're going to put that into writing. So I can't even imagine what we wouldn't do. That's the funniest thing to me because
Well, because some people
I
just
can't
say,
imagine saying no.
well, right. Some people are going to say, hey, I'm going to take a picture of your house. I'm going to put it on the MLS, and I'm going to put it on Zillow, and I'm going to put it on Realtor.com. But that's all I'm doing. I'm not going to show it. Not going to do open houses.
Gotcha.
Not going to do nothing. I'm going to market it.
I see.
And so if we're not going to show prospective parties your house, then that's when we start describing what we aren't going to do. So the companies in Oklahoma, there's some companies that do pay by
Service, basically.
Yeah, so they piece out their real estate and just charge you per the piece that you want to do. So you want me to do an open house, it's $450. You want me to take pictures, it's another $250. You want me to put up a sign, it's $200. You want me to show it tomorrow, it's $400. So
Like if you want me to use my phone camera versus the office camera.
Yeah. So we just do it all. And if it's a $25,000 house or a $650,000 house, we're going to use our $5,000 camera and go take pictures.
Right.
And we're going to,
Exactly.
it's a system we've got together, and we're very efficient. Sometimes we move very quickly because we are efficient. So,
Right.
which has got us into, I'm not going to say that, but yeah,
Little pickle.
we move quickly. And so our goal, we've done it a lot. We've sold thousands of houses in Woodward. We know what we're doing. We've got lots of systems in place. We've got lots of all the right people in place. And so, that's how we can do all of this as efficiently as we do. So
For sure.
let's take a quick break.
Nope. I want to say one more thing
Okay.
first. I mean, nice try, but I'm the boss here. Okay, whatever. I have a thumbs
Just
up on my
here.
shirt.
Just
That's-
here.
All right. I think the other thing that I needed to make sure that we said was that what allows us to work with buyer and seller both is that we make sure that that's notified to both parties.
Right.
So whenever I schedule appointments, I try to say who's showing the property. So it's obvious if it's from our office or if it's from a different office. And then when the contract comes in, there's a document that says that the buyer's realtor is working with them or with both parties. And so anyway, okay, so that's that. Now we can take a break.
Hey, we're back. Got a few minutes left. So
Okay, so I'm changing gears just a little tiny bit. Because the other part is why in the world would you even use an agent? Why would you use a realtor? And we think that it's very important. So one of the things that this article, this was in this little email thing that you send out, that sometimes I read, sometimes I don't. This time I did. But it talks about how I don't even have TV, so I don't watch I can't even say it, HGTV. I don't watch those shows. I don't watch home run shows. I feel like I live it. I don't need to watch it. But evidently, even though those shows are really entertaining, they don't always show the necessity or the importance of having a realtor. And so I wanted to talk about that real quick. So one of the things, one of the reasons why you'd want to use, us, but for
who
sure,
else would you use?
a licensed real estate agent is experience and local knowledge. And I'm going to really pick on local. I had somebody message me the other day, and she is licensed and she lives over by Tulsa. And she messaged and she said, hey, you guys are full service agency, right? Yes, we do everything. We don't do the piecemeal. This is how we'll take care of you. We do front to finish. We do everything. And I appreciated that even though grandma's house might come on the market, even though she knows the house and she knows real estate, she recognized the value of a local agent. And I think that's really important because we know what's going on. And Woodward is different than Tulsa. It's different than...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a customer call me, asked me to help them sell their house. Trying to think where was that? Oh, smaller town south of here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I would come help you, but I am super hyper Woodward.
Right.
I can
Absolutely.
if you tell me your address, I can probably draw the floor plan still. I've probably been in your house. I've been in a lot of
Right.
homes, and so I'm hyper no Woodward. In fact, you tell me what kind of house you want, I'll probably tell you who lives there, and we'll go knock their door, and we'll see if they'll sell it. So,
I wonder if Bridget is listening.
Bridget, 7 o'clock, Bridget. But we will. So yes, so that little town, I pulled it up. I started doing some homework on it. I pulling comps, and I about spent an hour just looking for comparables on a house in a town,
Right.
which isn't a lot of time. But in Woodward, I can walk in a house
And
I
have an
can-
idea.
And I can tell you, in my brain, I know where this thing's probably going to be priced. But we go back to the office and do different numbers. But go back with working an agent, there's a lot to, there's a lot of things we can do to help you, assist you, and protect you.
Mhm.
And you get all that.
Absolutely. Next up, negotiation skills and key partners. And I don't think it's negotiation in the respect of trying to take the shirt off someone else's back. I feel like our role in the negotiation is to keep things on that even level, because negotiating gets so emotional, and buying or selling a home is emotional, but really, ultimately, it's a business transaction. And I think that our skill set in that is to enable buyers and sellers to step out of the emotion, to step out of the hurt or the overexcitement that can create a little chaos, and to just help to calm things down and handle it. What do you think?
Absolutely. Somebody comes and offers you $10,000 less for your house. You get emotional, like, oh my gosh, they hate my house. It's not that. It's a business transaction, and you got to roll the emotions out a little bit sometimes to get the point across. We don't want you to. It is emotional. There's a lot of stress.
It
and
is.
It's moving.
It really is.
Yes.
It really is.
And so, and the key partners is the other thing is So we got a house in Fort Supply, and there's a bunch of just little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have the connections that we're going to send. I mean, we'll get it all whipped out and fixed pretty quick. So
Right.
like today we had one. Have Cumberstone over checking the heat and air system that we're trying to get finalized. They're sponsors of us. We appreciate them. But they buzzed over. They're checking the system out for us. We have a painting guy. We had roofing guys out.
Right.
Like we have connections with a lot of people that we can move very quickly, and we send lots of business out, so they put us at the top of the list so we can get things done. They know how important it is. We've expressed it to them, and so we appreciate it.
Absolutely. So those are some really great reasons why you would want to work with a realtor, and we appreciate that. We love what we do, and we have worked hard to develop the expertise that we have. Lots of transactions under our belts. So
Only like 80 this year, right? 78?
I think, is that right? Is it just 78? I don't know. I know that we're halfway there, and I really thought you were crazy when you put that number on my board. So,
Yep.
All right, if we can help, Brian, 580-334-2303. And I'm Kendra, 580-216-0090.